Hello, welcome to Sephra's World. My name is Sephra, and this is my world, and welcome to another edition of Writers Behaving Badly. Now, again, today I'm going to tackle a little bit of social media because I think it's really important that uh, new writers are aware of some of the protocol when it comes to exploring social media because there's a lot of bad advice out there. Now, the whole reason why I'm doing Writers Behaving Badly on YouTube here is not because I'm a big old bully. Quite the opposite. I am trying to impart knowledge that I myself have learned, often the hard way, because I was a writer behaving badly sometimes too. And a lot of times, especially new writers, it's just plain ignorance. We just don't know better. So today I'm going to talk about crashing the party. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're talking about online situations, not about real life parties. But I know one of the things when you're a new writer and you're trying to get a handle on how do I self promote? How do I do marketing? How do I get my name out there, especially when no one knows me? And it really doesn't matter if you're self published or traditionally published or something in between. Um, Marketing is the toughest part for a writer, and we're all out there trying to get our names out there, right? All of us, because we all want to make a living at our craft. There's very few writers, well, actually, there's more than I would ever imagine of writers who actually just write for fun and a hobby and actually don't care if anyone more than their five best friends buy their book. But for the rest of us, it's actually a career, it's actually our day job, it's actually how we earn a living, the majority of our living. Some people get to have a writing career as their full living, and the rest of us aspire to be there. I myself make three-quarters of my living from books, writing books, and my writings. And then the other, I have little part-time jobs that I do to pay the rent and stuff for those leaner months because it's feast or famine with writing and anything can happen. So sometimes um, writers do things because they're ignorant or they're panicking because they're trying to increase their income or they've invested a lot of money into what they're trying to do and so they're trying to ratchet things up. And that's all fine. And we're all learning. We're all still learning. However, there is some really bad marketing advice out there. So let me tell you, start right off saying, um, writers, new writers, don't market to other writers. I don't know why people do that. I guess the most obvious example of that is getting friended on Facebook. As someone wants you to be their friend, you click the thing, and next thing you know, they said, like my page, or, go to my website, or worse of all, buy my book. Now, first of all, why are you harassing other writers? Writers can't do shit for you. We can't. We can, be your friend, talk, and we can talk about our sales over coffee if you get that far. But for the most part, writers who do that, who immediately slam people even within the first week of buy my book or like my page, you're going to get unfriended. Some people even block, and that's that. And the rest of us, I don't unfriend or block people just because they say buy my book. I usually just ignore it. It's like, did you buy mine? Sometimes I'll say that. So, did you like my last book? Why should I buy yours if you don't even know who the hell I am, right? So why are you friending me? Like I thought you were friending me because you liked my book, but and it can ruffle a writer's ego because hey, we're writers, we got egos. So yeah, yeah, friend me. You say buy my book, and I'm like, oh, you're a writer too? No, do your research. Like this is just, and I know there's so many courses, writing courses, marketing courses, how to get ahead online, all these things, write 15 ebooks and then sell them to everyone. All this stuff, it's bad advice. Do not market to other writers. Don't market to editors unless you're actually gonna, if they're freelance editors, um, don't do buy my book. It's like, you want to edit my book? Here's my check. Here's my money. Or editors for publishing houses, you know, Why would they buy your book when they have 1,000 books to edit and prepare? So use your head. Use your head when you're marketing. Because some writers, especially on Facebook, because the new writers never see this because they get blocked. But then they'll go on and say, oh, once again, someone tried to sell me their book, and then your name gets bashed around, and then you're already in a negative place before you're even out of the gate. So don't crash the party. Do not. Well, crashing the party is even bigger than that. There's a lot of advice, and some of you know I teach courses on Udemy. I teach writing courses and tarot reading courses and so on. Um, and I went to a Udemy workshop. They came to Toronto and had a workshop a few months ago, and I went to it to learn some marketing skills for my courses. And one of their advice was, once you have your course, join as many Facebook or other social media groups as you can, and then just start like being the person dispensing advice and be kind of infiltrate and then wham them with your some of the people didn't say wham them with your product, but other people were like, yeah, this is how you infiltrate and sell your product. And let me tell you, it's always super obvious. I'm in like so many groups. I don't even look at half of them anymore. I don't have time. I'm writing books and getting paid. So, but you can tell the people who are infiltrating just because they're trying to sell a product. You know, and even just recently, what happened to me is I watched a YouTube video on something not related to writing, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And the guy had a Facebook group, so I went over to his Facebook group, and now all of a sudden he's sending me messages and stuff. And it's like, I don't want your messages. I just came to the group. And if this group is just so you can harass me to buy your course through messages, I'm gonna unsubscribe, because, we have the power, we can click. And that's the other thing, we can click. But so I call that crashing the party. I myself made that horrible mistake. Oh, like 15 years ago, I think before Facebook was even invented. Um, I was just to uh, starting my series. I have a 13 book Witch Upon a Star series. And originally it was with a different publisher, Ravenous Romance, who was a brand new publisher at the time. And they had just signed me for a 13-book deal, and I was really excited. But I'm a horror writer, and now I was going to write a romance series, but it's erotic horror, and it is. And actually, now that I've moved the books over to Riverdale Avenue Books, but that's something different. Anyways, so I was all excited, and so I went to some romance forums and was trying to infiltrate. But then I made the rookie mistake of kind of introducing myself, and but in that case, on that particular website community, people were really hostile to me. Even though I wasn't saying buy my books, I hadn't even written one yet. I was just excited that, oh, I got a new series coming out. And they're like, why are you here? Get out of here. You're a horror writer. Stop, infiltrating our romance and all this stuff. And I got bullied bad. And I know that site will never review my, it's been, like I said, about 10 years now since that happened. But I learned my lesson about infiltrating, and then, and I didn't even have anything to actually sell, but they spotted me. I was you know, the black sheep in the herd, or whatever expression you want to use. They spotted me, and they did not like the little gothic horror writer in their midst. They did not, even though erotic horror is a big thing, but that they weren't kind over there. So don't do that to yourself. That's why I do this series. Like, don't make life harder for yourself than it is. Learn from my mistakes and learn from mistakes I'm bringing to you to see. So if you are, let's say you're joining the Horror Writers Association, and they have an open Facebook page. You don't have to be a member to hang out on the page. Um, but don't get in there and just start asking stupid stuff. Try and read past posts. There's buckets of information on the Horror Writers page and so on. And don't be insulting. It's just sit and lurk for a while. You may, you can introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I'm a horror writer. Just join this page. I'm excited to meet all of you. Say stuff like that. But don't start in with, well, I think, and start saying stuff. And and then realizing it's contrary to the ethics of the page, or you're just upsetting people for no reason. I mean, if you want to be a troll, go ahead. But the horror community, I'm speaking as a horror writer, is very small. We all know each other or know of each other. And the minute someone does something ridiculous, there's always someone who's going to post the name and say something, and everyone's going to pile on and all that. That stuff happens all the time. So don't be that person they're gossiping about. All right. So that marketing advice you got in your courses is not good. Okay. Don't just crash into, join all these Facebook groups and crash them, and then, try and sell your product. Just lurk and learn, lurk and learn, lurk and learn. Okay. So what did we learn today? Don't sell your stuff to other writers, even though we know all writers are readers and writers love to read. But don't be marketing to writers. We have no money and we don't care about your book. We're marketing our own. Do your research. It's all about doing your homework, do your research. And then when you join groups, don't just be the bull crashing around the china shop going, oh, I got a book too. I'm self-published and I'm going to, my 4,000 page book about aliens, even though you're in, a horse loving group, or, pay attention to where you are, what you're doing, what's happening, because trying to sell books is hard enough in this business. It's always been hard. I'm not going to say it's harder now than ever before, because it's not. It's always been tough. It's just we see people more and the world is smaller because of social media. So people do talk. So don't be the party crasher and don't be that annoying person who friends people and then tries to sell them stuff right away. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you are. Just chill, man. Like, if your work is good, it will show up. It will speak for itself. And as you go to conventions and meet people, and people see your books and stuff like that, that's where the good stuff happens. But if you turn off your audience before you even start, you turn off people who can help you before you even start, because writers may not be able to buy your books, but they can certainly introduce you to other people who will, whether it's readers or editors or publishing houses. So don't upset your networking group, okay? Just be cool, hang out, ask questions, but don't be the troll unless you just don't care. Okay, so that's your writer's behaving badly advice for today. I hope it's helpful and learn from my mistakes too, please. I'm not here to bully, I am here to help you. And feel free to share experiences in the comments about how you too pissed off people, or even just more advice on how new writers can break in without upsetting people, and maybe some strategic ways to do marketing. I personally have found no magic bullet whatsoever, because the landscape keeps changing. The only thing you can really do is write the best book you can and take it to the best publisher you can, whether that's a traditional publisher or yourself. All right. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and feel free to share these videos. Okay, bye.